Hello, everyone. I am Shaquana Hughes, your pen planner. That's what I'm calling myself, Ty. I'm your pen planner, your marketing and system strategist for the authors. And today I am talking with Ty. We just calling you Ty, right?
Yep.
I'm just talking with Ty, one of the best authors out there, one of the best to ever do it. We love her work. I've loved her work before we even began working together professionally. And she is one of the first people that I'm working with offering this new service. So I just wanted to get her take on what we've been doing and how it's been going. So welcome, Ty. So I'll
Hi.
start off with I
Okay.
reached out to Ty. I was like, Ty, because I see her marketing her books. I see the way that she's marketing her books, and it was just real professional to me. She seemed like she was really, I could see from afar that she was really serious about it. And so I was like, after I decided what it was that I was going to do, working with authors, helping them get their systems and operations and automations and all of that stuff set up because it's what I do by trade. I wanted to work with someone, especially initially, that I felt like had their stuff together, which I did not know this for sure. It was just an
It's
assumption
just a
based on
hunch.
what I saw, right? But once we
hmm
started working together, I was like, she did, good choice. So when I first reached out to you and was like, hey, this is what I'm doing, I told you it was rather new and everything. What made you say yes?
Timing, honestly, because it literally was like you contacted me at the right time. When I say, because I literally was like, I wanted to do something different. I wanted to make sure I continued to grow. I felt like I was being stagnant, and you reached out, and I got to know you, of course, through Black Girl Book. I'm probably saying it wrong podcast because I always say the acronym, but I got to learn, and you always had a warm spirit. So when you reached out, I was like, okay, yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm open. Let's talk, and we did. And I just liked how you pitched it to me, and we just started working ever since. Like you just naturally um, felt like I could trust you, and we just went with the flow
So neither one of us really kind of knew how this was going to work
at
out. And
all,
for anyone who
at
doesn't
all.
know, I am one third host of the Black Girl Book Club podcast. I have a
Yes.
podcast where we sit and we talk about books and get deep into why this happened and who said this and that. And Ty has been an amazing author that has come on the show a couple of times
Yep.
to talk to us about some of her many great books. And so that's what she's talking about. So we've had her on there. So we kind of developed a relationship through there as well. And then I saw her on social media and I was like, I wanted to work with her. But neither one of us knew how this was going to work out really. Like, was this going to work? The things that I was trying to do and set up. Because one of my main goals for authors is for them to take control of their readership, to be able to have their information, to be able to get
hmm
their emails and be able to engage with them and talk to them and that kind of thing. And so I set it up in a way for that to happen, but I didn't know how successful it was going to be. So what do you think has surprised you the most
Okay,
in
I'm gonna say
working?
I'm gonna say this because she's gonna say I'm not a marketing person. But when she first sent me her landing page that she developed for a clue or something, I was like, and I was like, what? She just killed it right there. Talking about I don't really do that. I'm a strategist. I don't do
I'm a
marketing. Like,
strategist. I'm not a marketer.
yes, that's it. And I was like impressed. I was like, okay, okay. And then when she did it for Lipstick Diary, same thing. And then even how for chemistry, like the little tagline that she came up with, I was like, okay, made me want to read my book again that I wrote. So that's the part that surprised me because she came across as if I'm just helping you strategize. This is what I and when she said I'm gonna do a landing page, I was really expected just to have like my cover and a blurb and a click, but she had like graphics that was moving in the wind and look, blurbs had it all pretty, and I was just like, hey. So I
Right.
will say that surprised me more anything else, just because of what you kept saying. I am not. But the way you presented it was purely marketing, made me interested in my own books again. Okay. So
Oh, it
yes.
was cool. I'm so glad you said that. So I'm a marketing strategist. So my claim to fame, the way that my mind works, I'm a planner by nature, just in life, period. And so I strategize with people and help them come up with strategies. But I have been in business for a long time. And so I've had to market my own business. Anyone that I work with, I always give them marketing tips. It's been probably close to 20 years now that I have been
Okay.
in the entrepreneur arena. So that's how I've developed that eye for marketing. But I'm never gonna sell myself as someone who does graphics and
Mm-hmm.
and design and stuff like that. But I appreciate you saying that.
Mm-hmm.
What is something that you feel like has been the most successful for you in us working together?
I would say the most successful that you have created for me is for me connecting more with my readers. That's the part that I feel is the most successful, because that is important to me to connect to my readers. And the way that we set up the system, it allows me to connect, because I have like one person right now who every book she's reading out of she's reading my whole catalog now because of Cool with Summer. But she'll reach out as soon as she finishes a book. Girl, she just finished A Love for All Seasons. And she was like, I didn't want that one to end. Like, and it's cool because she's literally texting and emailing me as she finishes, like she's going through every single book in my catalog and she's letting me know. Because I know people do that. People will tell me, I read all your books catalog, but she literally is making a comment every time she finishes a book. And that's very rewarding for me. And you might say it's just one person, but that one person keeps me writing. That one, I loved it. It's like, okay, this is why I write. Because I'm not going to appeal to everybody, but if I can appeal to one person and I made their day, I made them smile. That's why I write. Because that's why I used to read. I used to read because it made me smile, made me feel good.
Do
So
you
yeah.
think how that and I don't know why this came to mind because
Mm-hmm.
the goal is for you to engage with your readers.
Yes.
One thing I will say just as a business person, the world is changing. And those days of you being an author behind closed doors and nobody knowing who you are and seeing your face, baby, is not gonna fly because
It
with
isn't.
social
It isn't.
media and all of that, people want to see you, they
It
want to
isn't.
talk to you. But I can see how, especially because the way that authors have been for so long, that it may be like, I don't want my readers to really have that access to me, And you can put perimeters around this. Like,
Of
I
course, of
am
course.
not super accessible as a business owner. I set expectation with my clients and they have ways of getting in touch with me, but you don't have to, engage heavily with your readers if you don't want to. But
Mm-hmm.
I could see how someone could be like, I don't know if I want to engage with them that way. Can you see like any kind of bad things that could come from that?
Yeah, it could be. I mean, yeah, because you might have somebody who because as a writer too, you get sometimes you take things personal. Someone doesn't like your work, and you might have someone who might reach out and because they have more access to you, think they can say anything to you. That is always a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
But I tend to err on positivity. So for me, uh, yeah, I might have some few bad apples, but it's not going to ruin the barrel. So
Mm-hmm.
or whatever people say,
I
I
think it's
rather
really cool the
yeah
engagement that you've been
yeah
getting, like as far as
yeah
like
no
being able, and
it's
even like new readers, people who are
yes.
new. So we've
That's
gotten
what
a
I'm
lot
saying.
of
This
new
particular
readers.
lady was new. That's
Oh,
why
she
she
was
was
okay.
new. She was new. And that's why you know, and I make sure I try to respond as soon as I can. And sometimes of course when you have, the more and more I have, I can't always do it and I get back to it because I have one reader now who gives me the longest emails about my books about she like dissects and I love it and I'm always I can't get to it yet because I really want to go back and dissect the email with her and
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I can and I'll send it back to her and we just have this dialogue. So the way that you're operating the system is allowing me to do that more because everyone isn't on social media
Right.
and the newsletter is my direct contact with people I know, at least I hope, because they're on my newsletter. They want to hear more from me.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, and that's for
Um,
me. Yeah.
and that's what I was going to say. If you are looking for a way not to have to be on social media to engage with your readers, to connect with them, I definitely have a solution for that. I guess we can end this by um, I would really like to know if you felt like this was worth it for you. Would you have like, pay more or like was this worth it, like this is it?
It really was worth it. Let me tell you why it was worth it. It was worth it in the sense, of not only just being able to really map out a strategy, because as a writer, I'm not, like Shaquan said, she's a business person. It's not my thing. Even though my goal is to make this my business because it's the only way I'm going to grow. It has to be seen as a business. And that's one of the hardest things to write. We just want to write. But what the system does allow is it takes some of that away. We still got to do our part, but it takes some of that stress away of what should happen next. Why should, because I'm meeting with Shaquan, we're having we're having these dialogues, having this discussion. Oh, but what about this? And she might challenge the thought, like, maybe people feel overwhelmed because you're putting too much stuff out there. So maybe we should scale back. I mean, we just had this discussion, right? So, and I'm like, no, because everybody doesn't see my post. So this might be the one post they see, and it brings it back to everything else I did. But it's just having an open dialogue, and she's easy to work with. So for me, definitely, I'm glad I took a chance, and hope we continue to work more together, because I do think that it is worked, especially if are an author that's really trying to grow and trying to find ways to grow and develop your business as a writer, especially if you're new, if you're very new and you're like, I don't know what to do. I don't, this is a way to actually this will help you grow or get to where you want, whether it's, this is a good part-time gig or this is my full-time gig. This is a good way to start it.
Yes, for sure. Thank you so much, Ty. That is my goal. If you go to any of my pages, it's like turn your writing into a business. And I think that authors are going that route. But again, like, how do I go about doing that? How do I actually turn this into a business where I can replace my full-time income or, really have it systemized and legitimized, and it helps you to not have to constantly be on social media. That's another thing, and take control of your readership. So if you would like more information about Just Right Sis, that's the name of the company, definitely check out justrightsis.com. It'll give you all the information that you need. I appreciate you, Ty. You were an amazing first client. What I thought she was, as far as like having her stuff together and like just having everything, you were very forthcoming. I would challenge some things. You might come back, or you may say, you know what, you on to something right there. I'm gonna take that into consideration. So I appreciate that. And I appreciate you so much, like you said, for taking that chance. Because I was like, girl, this new, I think this gonna work, but I don't know. But she was like, come on, let's do it. So I appreciate that. I appreciate you. And for anyone who's interested, like I said, reach out to me. And you don't have to get off now, but I'm going to stop the recording, and I'll see you guys later.